live session with BabyChakra. I'm host Shruti Panvalkar, and this morning we are going to have a discussion on really important topic. Before we begin, I want to give our audience a gentle insight into BabyChakra, what our platform is all about. BabyChakra is India's largest pregnancy and parenting platform. Is one-stop destination for pregnant women and expecting parents. We try to connect parents with experts who bring valuable information and research-based information to all. On that note, I would like to kickstart our topic for today. We are going to have an informative discussion today on immunity boosting meal plans for kids, especially winter care. We have given amazing lineup of our guest speakers with us on our boat. Please welcome Dr. Asha Kalwar and Dr. Nitisha Parashar. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So,
Hello,
Dr.
everyone.
Asha, could you please introduce yourself?
Actually, I'm a pediatrician by profession, currently working as a consultant pediatrician in Railway Hospital, and I'm also practicing outside. Uh, so currently, I'm working both in government and in outside.
Great, that's great. Dr. Nitisha, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello, everybody. Good morning. I am Dr. Nitisha. So, basically, I am a certified maternal and child nutritionist, and I'm working with the Department of Pediatrics at the ESI Model Hospital, Jammu. So, during this whole phase of working with the Department of Pediatrics, I have encountered a lot of children and mothers who are facing some kind of issues regarding their nutrition. So, I basically help mothers and children to take care of their health in a better way.
Thank you, Dr. Nitisha. So thanks for joining us today and sparing some time to bring lots of useful and helpful information to our viewers. Let me introduce our audience to the topic once again. We are going to discuss immunity boosting meal plans for kids, winter care. Eating healthy winter foods help keep your kids disease free, isn't it? And warm as well. One of the major struggles every mother faces is immunity. Having a balanced diet during winter is very crucial, isn't it? To avoid the risk of catching the flu and cold, let's discuss the best way to indulge in the conversation with our experts in the panel today. And today we'll address this topic in depth. So let's begin. So, Dr. Asha, I would like to ask you, how can I boost my immune system in winter?
Actually, this is an important topic, and I'll discuss today on this topic that boosting immunity is important for children. Children gradually develop immunity through interaction with different microorganisms and through interaction with environment. But some things are required to understand from the side of our parents to keep our baby healthy and to boost their immunity. First of all, I would say that introduce a good healthy diet. As we know, healthy diet means a lots of fruits and vegetables. For kids, at least 5 servings of a day should be there. That should include whole grain, lean proteins, dairy products. You should use at least fats and healthy fats and carbohydrates and important proteins in your food, which we get from the daily use of our household cook and the important whole grains. And next is avoid processed food. As we can see that in today's society, people are involved more indulge more towards fast food, and they are taking more of the fast food from the environment. So avoid taking fast food and take a lot of fluid, as you know, not the processed foods and food. You should take plenty of water every day. which also boost our immunity. Second important thing is get enough sleep. As we can say, as we know that from infant to child, there is different sleep period. For infants, we require at least 12 to 16 hours of sleep. Then for kids, at least 10 to 12 hours of sleep should be there. And at afternoon, there should be 2 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Next is that keep your baby active. Like you can see, my baby is speaking from the camera. You should
Yes.
keep your baby active. Indulge him in daily activities like working as a doing yoga, doing athlete, doing a household work. It is not necessary that you have to go to playground to be active. You can work at in your area also. Go for a regular walk. Indulge this good habit from childhood only, so that they can enjoy from the very beginning. Next is very important is you should remember all the vaccines at time, and you should give vaccines whenever the doctor is advising you. And one more important thing after COVID is that you should take flu vaccination, which is started from the age of 6 months. You should give at least every yearly the flu vaccination, which can prevent from many flu diseases. Then I would emphasize on the fourth point, that is you should manage stress. You should talk with your baby how to manage stress and how to release stress. You should do regularly yoga and indulge this good habit since childhood. Uh, One more thing is there that you should do simple precautionary activities like avoiding contact with germs, avoiding contact with sick people. You should wash regularly your hands at least before and after meal. These are the important things, and which every parent should consider in their daily activities, so that they can prevent and boost the immunity of the child. As we know, some foods are there which can boost the immunity of their children, like green beans, green vegetables, oranges, and carrots. Carrots contains carotenoids, which can boost immunity of the child. There are also phytoproteins in nutrients, which may increase the body production towards prevention of the infection. If a child is breastfed, like if it is an infant, you should breastfeed your infant regularly. As everyone knows, the first uh, fluid that comes from the breastfeed, that is colostrum, is very important for the immunity of the children. And one more guideline has come recently that you can give vitamin D, which is very important for the prevention of the respiratory tract infection. And also you can give zinc, which is important for the prevention of the dehydration and gastroenteritis diseases. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. As I can see in my clinics also, patients come with to us and they provide to their children from the beginning only antibiotics, which should not be followed.
Yes,
Strictly, it
actually.
should not be followed. You cannot give antibiotics at the first day, and you cannot decide what antibiotics should be given to your children. So avoid giving antibiotics. Give healthy food to your child, which means 5 foods a day with lots of vegetables and fruit and fluid in your diet. Give a good sleep, uh, add good exercises to your daily activities, like simple daily activities at your home. Not, as I emphasize, not necessary you should have to do gym and some strenuous exercises. Give important vaccination every year and as advised by your doctor. Follow simple precautions at your home, like washing fruit before eating, washing foods before eating, washing your hands before eating and coming from after eating food, and maintain hygiene, which is very important. Maintain hygiene at your home. So this is from my side. I am completing my discussion on this topic, and now I will hand over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for deep insight on this subject, because in winter the increase of germs, the development of germs is everywhere, and it is very unidentical as compared to rainy season, I must say. So thank
Yeah,
you so much for giving us inputs on the especially on the hygiene. So
yeah.
thank you, Dr. Asha. Coming to Dr. Nitisha, I would like to ask you one question, which is, what are the immunity boosting foods for the kids? Because moms are very much in confusion. What sort of food, what sort of meal should I offer to my kid? Yes, Dr.
Right. So, as you know, Dr. Asha correctly said that breast milk is something which is very very essential for the immunity of the kids. Like as soon as the kid is born, the first diet, I mean, the first food element which a kid consumes is the breast milk. So that has a lot of immunity boosting factors, interleukins, lactoferrin, etc., which actually helps to develop the immune system of the kid. So it will provide the necessary elements to fight off with the infections in the future life as well. So breastfeeding as long as you can is something which is irreconcilable. I mean, that can be done to enhance the immunity of the kids. Like even feed their children till 3 to 4 years, 3 and 3.5 years of age as well. So I think as much as you can prolong it, it will be completely beneficial. Apart from that, when it comes to diet, so there are certain dietary elements which we can incorporate in our kids diet, so that they can actually benefit, and it can support their healthy immune system. So like Dr. Asha mentioned, like a lot of fruits, like we have citrus fruits, so we have lemons, oranges, amla. So all these are having citrus vitamin C in them. So vitamin C is very very good antioxidant, and it also supports our immunity. Even adults also consume them to enhance their immunity. Second is we should give a good amount of fats, like good saturated fats, especially like when we talk about cow's ghee, and especially if it can be homemade, then that is something which actually can help a lot of kids to balance their immune system. Second is ghee. Then third, if we come to, again, we have to increase a lot of fluid intake. So apart from plain water, we can also give coconut water. Then we can also give certain types of kadhas, like especially when we talk about winter care. So in winters, usually the immunity stands at a lower level, and a lot of children are facing cough, common cold, a little fever, and all these things. So these can be very well handled at home without any medications like antibiotics or other antipyretics, and you can easily make them at home with the simple ingredients available in the kitchen. So like we all know about tulsi leaves. So tulsi is something which we know all everybody puts it in their diet, be in the form of tea or in the form of kadhas. So tulsi kadha is a very very potent immunity booster. So it can actually fight off infections, and it can give you the provided warmth and the provided necessary energy to fight off the infections.
Yeah, can
One
you quickly
second.
share how to make a tulsi kada
Yes,
for
yes.
especially for kids?
Basically, yeah, sure, sure. So basically, what you have to do is you have to take water. So see, we can give it from 6 months of age, but it has to be given in a very very small quantity, and it has to be made in a way the ratio proportion has to be taken care of, because till less than 1 year of age, it has to be given in very very small quantity and not more than twice a week. So you can just take simple water, boil it, and you can add tulsi leaves when the water starts boiling. So you can just let it boil for around 10 to 15 minutes, so the water volume reduces to approximately half of it, and then you can strain the leaves out, and the liquid which is there, that is the liquid which is a tulsi kadha, which you can give to your kids to boost your immunity. So less than 1 year of age, twice a week, that is it, and that too a very small quantity, like you can say, I think half a spoon. I mean, what the spoon which we use in our regular household. So that is something which we can give. Beyond 1 year of age, you can give 2 to 3 times a week, based on the kind of symptoms your child is having. So apart from that, this is a plain tulsi kadha. You can also add certain kind of spices, like you can add carom seeds, like ajwain. Then you can add black pepper. You can add cloves. Then we can add cumin seeds. We can add dry ginger, or you can also add turmeric. Also, turmeric is again a very good potent immunity boosting factor. So you can all mash it up, and you can store this in a powdered form, and you can, whenever you feel like your kid is having some kind of little cold or common cold, so you can make the kadha and you can give it to your kid. Second is, again, when we talk about turmeric, so we all have heard of golden milk. I think we all know about it. So that is something, which is really good, and it's very, very effective. And a lot of research has been done on it, that, turmeric milk has a lot of immunity boosting factors. So turmeric has this kind of, has a chemical which actually, goes, and it's kind of cytotoxic. So basically what it does is it kills the bad cells, the bad bacterial cells which are there in the body, which are accumulated over a period of time. So that is very effective again. So golden milk, the turmeric milk you can give. Again, the recipe is very easy, and I think all of us are, know it basically. So you can just boil the milk, add turmeric to it. If you can get fresh turmeric, like the vegetable form of turmeric, which we get it like in the ginger form, that is really good. Otherwise, you can even add turmeric powder, and you can just boil it for 10 to 15 minutes, so that the milk reduces, and then you can give that milk to your kid before bedtime, or in the morning. So it's warm also, and it will also provide immunity boosting factors as well. So apart from these, again, we have a lot of vegetables, and green leafy vegetables, like Dr. Asha mentioned, and then we have citrus fruits. Then we have carrots, and there are a lot of dietary aspects with available in our day to day life, which we can use, and we can impart immunity to the kids.
Sure. Thank you so much for your inputs. Can you specifically name any, because children are not these much like attracted to these kind of food. So, in order to make it more attractive or favorable, can you just name some snacks which can be offered in the winter season, especially? Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, so basically, like, so when we talk about making food attractive to kids, so that is really a very difficult task. So it varies from baby to baby, I mean the child to child. Some children take up the foods as it is. Otherwise, what we do is, we can you can hide your good elements in foods which they like. So if, for example, they like pancakes, or they like, we make these suji or besan chilas. So a lot of children like, my son loves the suji besan chila. So what I do is, I just add all of the vegetables in those chilas. So the chila and the little the spices which you add, they can mask the taste of vegetable.
Yes.
They will not be that much evident for the kid, that you have hidden the vegetable this and that and there. So effectively, you can just grate the vegetables, or you can just mash them, and you can add in the batter, and you can make it in the form of paratha or a chila, or any kind of vegetable which your child might like. So you can add those things in that. Secondly, we all know about Indian spices. So even if you're not able to make a kadha, you can add the spices, all these necessary spices, in the vegetable, or the sabzi, or the dal, or the curry your kid is eating, and that will again also give a good amount of immunity to your kid. Apart from that, I think you can also make it in the form of some crackers or something, like a lot of mothers do. Like my mother-in-law does it for my kid. So what she does is, we make it in the form of a biscuit form of type, like a cracker, and we add those, it's kind of salty cracker. So you can add all the spices, and you can add the dried ingredients, and you can just fry them up in, maybe shallow fry in the ghee or oil, and you can give them to your kid as well. So that is again a good way.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitisha, for your inputs on the, because this is the biggest task, that is how and what to feed the children. Thank you so much. So coming to Dr. Asha, we have one more question, that how long does it take to build a child's immune system? Because these
Uh,
days send kids to a school, and somebody is having a cold or flu, it gets viral in a
Yeah.
very few time. Please give us insights on this particular thing.
Actually, it varies from children to children. We cannot say properly that how long does it require for a child to develop its immunity. As we know, if a baby, when a baby is born, he's acquiring his mother's immunity. But after 6 months, he gradually interact with different microorganisms and environmental factors, which help them to boost their immunity. So I think we should allow our children to play outside, to interact with different microorganisms. We should keep them healthy to develop their immunity. At least up to 8 years, every children require to develop and boost their immunity. So we should be precautious till 8 years of age and let them free in the environment and let them interact with different microorganisms and indulge good habits in them, give them fluids, and as I said earlier, good food, good amount of sleep, and it will help them to boost their immunity. And it is not necessary, there is no important time gap to develop immunity. So I'll say let them develop their immunity by their side only, interact with the environment, and develop a good habit in them.
Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Asha. It is very much important because due to some fear, we do not send our kids
Mm.
or we do not make them in contact with nature, or what we can call ground play. So I must say that we should include it in their daily routine. Thank you, Dr. Asha. So I have one more question to Dr. Nitisha. So it is from audience especially. So she is saying that my child keeps getting sick. How can I improve his immunity?
Okay. So, as Dr. Asha said, getting sick is a way to improve one's immunity. So, as your child is going to encounter microorganisms, various forms of, bacteria, viruses, etc. So, what happens is basically when we go out in a community, in a social circle where a lot of people are there, like you send your kid to school. So like these days, it's a flu season, fever season, flu season. So when your child is encountering a bacteria and the body is producing some kind of symptoms, like the body is having fever, the baby is having fever, the baby is having cough, cold, etc. So all these are signs that your child's body is already producing a lot of antibodies to fight against those bacteria and viruses. So the body remembers all the bacteria and viruses which it has encountered in the childhood, so that your adult life remains infection free. So when your child is encountering all these diseases, that is a way in itself to build immunity to the kid. Second thing which we come is, like, mothers say that my child is keep falling sick all the time. Every 15 days fever is happening, sometime cold is happening, cough is happening. So how can I enhance the immunity? So enhancing the immunity is basically, you have to give your body the strength to fight off those infections, right? So when we talk about fighting the infections, there we are talking about the actual healthy diet and the healthy lifestyle practices. So again, hygiene maintenance is one of the utmost important thing which is mentioned already in the discussion. So hygiene maintenance, simple hand hygiene. If you're going out to play, then coming back, washing your hands and feet and mouth is again helping your body to fight, stay at bay from the bacteria. Secondly, whenever all the utensils, the basic home hygiene utensils, your clothing, your bed sheets, your play area, it has to be clean. It should be not spoiled at least. So we cannot, eventually we cannot just clean it off from all the bacteria and viruses. There have to be some kind of microorganisms have to be there, but just visually it should not be spoiled and dirty. Third thing is, when we come to diet, so dietary aspect, you have to consume a healthy and a full, your the whole of the macronutrients have to be taken care of. So macronutrients are your protein, your fats, and your carbohydrates. because all these things we usually tend to overlook the carbohydrates. We think that carbohydrates make us fat, the kid will make get fat if we eat a lot of ghee and all these things, but that is not the case. Now the research have shown that ghee, in fact, the cow homemade ghee or the milk, the cow's ghee, it is actually immunity boosting. It is actually working in favor to increase the immunity. So do not afraid to give your kids the ghee. Put it in their dal, sabzi, tadkas. You can make in ghee, or you can simply put it on the rotis which you make, or any kind of chilas or pancakes you're making. So that is very very essential. Second is, you can you have to include vegetables and fruits in your kids diet, so that, like, Dr. Asha mentioned that 5 portions have to be there. So your child should at least eat half of the plate of what you're offering. So if you're offering maybe around 2 to 3 servings of fruits in the day, so your breakfast, your lunch and your dinner, then as a mid morning snack you should include another fruit, and as a mid evening snack you should include another fruit or a bowl of fruits and vegetables. So that has to be taken care of. Also, try not to overcook your subsies and especially your vegetables. So they should not be completely overcooked and filled with all those masalas and tadka. You should just cook it a little bit so that they are soft to eat, and not completely overcook it, because overcooking vegetables, what happens is they lead to depletion of nutrients. So a lot of nutrients are depleted as they encounter heat and higher temperature. So overcooking should be avoided. Second, what you can do is, you can use certain traditional cooking methods, like you can sprout. You can use sprouting, you can use fermentation, you can use a lot of pre and probiotic food items in your kids diet, which will enhance their gut microbiota, will empower your kids immunity furthermore. So that is again one thing which you can work on.
Yes. Thank you so much for your inputs on this question. So thanks a lot, audience, for joining us today. The tips you have provided are extremely helpful, and I'm sure all the moms and dads will find them useful too. So with that note, we come to the end of our live session. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Shruti.